If you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by portrait photography, or just at a loss of what to focus on to take you to that next level, then come hang with me. I help guide portrait photographers just like you to stay clear and sharp in camera and with your goals. I'm your host, photographer, educator, and weirdly positive mama of four, Emily Supio. And this is the Stay Focused podcast. Photography advice to help you stay focused. Hey, all of you. It's Emily Supio, and thank you so much for pressing play on today's episode of the Stay Focused podcast. I so appreciate each and every one of you that tune in each week, that want to learn how to take great pictures, how to really get confident behind that camera, either so that you can capture great pictures of your own kids, so you can maybe make some money with a side business or a full-time business one of these days. Now, last week, I had a really cool episode. It was 20 mini lessons for people who want to learn how to take great pictures. If you have not heard that episode, you want to make sure that you listen to last week's episode. It is season 3, episode 5. So you're going to want to make sure that you check that out, because this week's episode is actually centered around some of the things that we talked about last week. And if you did not catch last week's episode, it is totally okay. You're not going to get lost at all in today's episode. It's not a continuation. It's more of a continued explanation, because I had a lot of DMs over on Instagram from people, from moms, from grandmas who are connecting with me, just saying thank you and really resonating with some of the little mini lessons, especially around mindset. So today's episode, like I said, it's not a continuation. So if you didn't listen to part 1, this part 2 of it will still totally make sense. Today's episode is going to center around 3 main huge mindset shifts that you need to make in order to start taking better pictures and seeing a huge change in the way that your photos look. So it's all about you and your mindset and the way that you shift it to see things just a little bit differently. Now, if you've been listening to the show for a while, if you've listened to last week's show, and you have not left a rating and review over on iTunes, this is me really quick in the next 10 seconds just asking you if you would please head over there, hit the subscribe button, hit a rating, and leave a really fast review for the show. Don't take a ton of time. It can be super, super quick. And if this is the first time you are ever listening to the Stay Focused podcast and you resonate with today's episode, I would love if you would go back and listen to some of the past episodes that might connect with you. And let me know if you like it. Let me know if they connect with you. Let me know if they help you, because that's what this show is all about, is helping you, uplifting you, teaching you, and getting you more confident behind that camera and with your photography skills. So a lot of your confidence starts with understanding what you need to work on in photography. So really understanding what your strengths are and what those weaknesses or struggles are that you have. When you understand that, you know what to focus in on. You know what to hone in on to start seeing results. So to make it a little fun doing that and lighthearted and easy, I've created a fun, simple, and quick 2-minute quiz. And you can go to that at cozyclicks.com/quiz. You can also get to that on the show notes, or if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, if you go to the description in there, you can click on that link so that you can take the quiz. It's fun and it's going to help give you some great insight into yourself as a photographer and start thinking and understanding the things that you should really be focusing and working on now. Okay, so let's get into the 3 mindset shifts that I want you to be really aware of, very intentional about, and start really catching yourself and thinking about them when you do catch yourself in one of these mindsets. So starting with number 1, this is a mindset that a lot, if not everyone who is a creative person who wants to create beautiful photos, who wants to get into photography, feels and lets get into their brain a little too much. And that is comparing. We've got to make that shift away from comparing ourselves to other photographers. So a lot of us get this camera and we've got big goals, right? Like we want to take great pictures of our kids. We want them to look more professional. Maybe you think it would be cool if you could win some awards or have your work published or make some money, right? Maybe it's not even a full-time business. Maybe it's just a side hustle. You'd like to make some money. But we start creating these big goals for ourselves, which are great to do, right? It's great to have those big dreams, those big goals, those big hopes about photography. But we get inside our mind a little too much. We'll see a photo that we love on Pinterest or Facebook or Instagram, and we start comparing. Well, my photos don't look that way, or I can never get to that level. And we compare and we compare, and our mind starts to get smaller and our confidence shrinks and we start to feel like we can't do it, right? But here's the thing about comparing yourself to other people. There is no race, okay? We're not all trying to get to this imaginary finish line. There is no competition. It really is only you versus you. So the only person you should be comparing yourself to when it comes to photography is you in your own work and how much you've already grown. And while we're always going to compare, okay, we will. It's just, I think, part of human nature. If you've never compared yourself to anyone ever, you are all kinds of awesome, and I would love to talk to you on the show so you can tell us how you did it. But I know the majority of people, we at times get caught in this comparison trap. And it's important to remember, you guys, that there is no finish line, okay? There isn't this imaginary finish line that if you pass it, you get the gold cup or the blue ribbon or the $1,000 prize. It's not there. The only race you're trying to win is the race, it's not even a race. It's just the only person that you should compare yourself to is you. Compare yourself to the photographer you were yesterday, to the work you were taking last week or last month or last year. Okay? So that's the very first mindset shift. When you catch yourself comparing yourself to others, shift it to you versus you and how far you have already come. And just keep that visual in your head of the finish line that's not there, okay? The race that's not happening. And kind of smile at that. Give yourself a smile, give yourself a wink, and just remember that you got this. Okay, mindset shift number 2. And I like this one a lot because a lot of times I see people, hopefully not you, probably not you, I'm guessing not you because you're watching the show or you're listening or watching to this show right now, and you know I'm so about positivity, but I see other people leaving some really unkind comments on other photographers' work on social media. I see it on other photographers. I've seen it a lot on my own work. So I'll bring this up and I'll even give you some examples. I'm like, examples are filling my brain right now. And I know that's sad, but my second mindset shift that I want you to think about, and then I'll share a couple examples, is to have a positive social media vibe and have a positive vibe, especially around other photographers or other moms who are just starting to learn the camera, or, other people that are out there with the same goals as you. When you see a photo online and you really like it, take the time to tell that person that. Say, hey, your photo stopped my scroll. I think this is really cool. It's beautiful. Great job. Or even great job. Or even a heart emoji if you don't want to get into it a lot, because people like that. And that vibe of positivity spreads back to you. But a lot of people, this is what I see happen, is they see a picture and I'll see comments like, oh, that's over edited, or why did you have them pose that way? Or you must have a really great camera, or how much are you spending on your lenses to get a photo like that? Or so on and so on and so on with comments like that. And I know you've read comments like that. Hopefully you haven't written one yourself, but I know you've read them. And I have got comments from people before that are really just mean. Like, oh, that's so over edited. You can obviously tell that. Or I've had people call me a bad mother for what I have my girls dressed in, or that I let them or allow them to wear makeup or lip gloss. And like, really, I could go on and on with the negative comments that have come my way over time. And I've kind of learned to brush them off. I hope that none of you ever experience that. But with your mindset, I don't want you to ever look at a photo and never comment, but never even think in your mind like, oh, that photographer took that photo because, well, they have a great camera, or they have the money to buy that lens, or, well, they live by the beach, so they have the opportunity, or they live in the desert, so they've got these beautiful locations. Because what we do in our mind is we make these, like, they're not excuses, but we make these comments about other photographers whose work we really do like it's work we like. We're just maybe a little jealous, and that's how that energy comes out. And when I say we, I'm definitely not talking about you guys, right? Not talking about me. We're just talking about human nature in general and what people do. But I want you thinking, okay, when you see a picture, don't automatically think that, there's different reasons why that photographer took that great picture. If it's a picture you like, tell them, leave a great comment, have a social media vibe that is super positive. Keep that community of, photographers, us as photographers, let's keep that vibe very, very positive within our community. And I'm saying this, I would say, let's keep this positive vibe in the community of humans, but that's a pretty big group to cover, right? So for now, let's just keep this to our photography community. So go out of your way next time you're scrolling on Instagram or Facebook, when you see a picture you like, and I'm not saying go through every single person, but when you see one you like, tell that person, be positive about that, instead of feeling like, oh, I can't get there, or I can't do that. Be positive, be happy for the people that are getting there. And that positivity will come back to you. It's a great mindset shift and a great little exercise to do to help just uplift people and uplift yourself too. All right, the third mindset shift that I want to talk about on the show today is the mindset shift about age. And I saved this one for last on purpose because this is the comments, the DMs that I got the most of from the past episode, from last week's episode. I talked a couple times about age in our mini lessons. Remember to listen to episode, I think it's episode 6. I think I might have said episode 5 before, but I think it was episode 6 where we did that from season 3. It won't even be episode 6. It's going to be like 156 maybe. I forgot we're in season 3 when I said that. Now my brain is scattered and all over the place, but this is what I'm going to do, you guys. I will have that episode linked up in the show notes. So if you're listening on iTunes, look in the description. If you're listening on the Cozy Clicks website, it will be right in the show notes for you. So I'm going to take a note right now to make sure to add that in. Okay, so it's last week's episode. But a lot of people really connected with that mindset shift about age. And I talked a little bit last week how when I first started really getting into photography, I was 30 years old. And I remember this because I was 30 when I had my first child. And I thought 30 years old was really old. Okay, I'm 44 now. I thought 30 was old. And sometimes I think of myself as being 44 and I think, oh my goodness, I am old. But then you know what? I talk with some of my students that work with me inside of the Editing Academy and inside of Shoot It Sensational. I have students in there that are in their 80s. And when I talk with them and when I work with them, I don't even think of age. Like, I don't even think like, oh, they're 80 some years old learning photography. No, because age is relative and it's something that is in our mind. It's a mindset, and we've got to shift away from thinking that age matters at all. No matter how old you are, you can master, you can meet, you can exceed your photography goals, whatever those goals and whatever level you are at. So if right now you're listening and you're 50 and you just got your first DSLR camera, that is awesome. 50 is a great age to start learning photography, to start learning how to shoot. If you are 75 years old and you are diving into Photoshop for the first time, you are in the exact place you should be. And guess what? If you're 30 and it's the first time you're opening Photoshop, you're in the exact place you should be too. So age is so relative. It does not matter when you start learning the camera. It does not matter when you start learning Photoshop or Lightroom or how to edit. It does not matter when you decide to make a career change and start a new business or become an entrepreneur and start your own photography company. There is no timeline for when you can make some side money with photography, okay? There is no calendar up there that says, when you're 18 years old, this is when you start learning manual mode. And then when you are 21, you should be moved on to Lightroom. And then when you are 25, you should have already mastered Photoshop. And then by the time you're 26, you should have a full-time business. And well, if you're 27, don't even start because you've missed the boat, okay? You've missed the calendar. No, that doesn't happen. That's not a thing. There's no calendar up there, okay? There's no timeline, you guys. So whatever age you are, you can start learning photography. You can start learning editing. You can start making side money. You can start winning awards. You can be published. You can be an influencer. You can start your full-time photography business, okay? So whatever age you are, just erase it. Just take an eraser to your brain right now and just erase however old you are out of your brain because it doesn't matter. Okay, it really, truly doesn't matter when it comes to photography how old you are. You can get started however old you are, okay? And this is true. I don't know if we have any really young listeners that listen on the show, but, you know, I know that there's kids in middle school who are really talented and want to learn photography and are really good at it too, right? Maybe even younger than that. Maybe some of you have kids that are in elementary school who are already showing an interest for photography and art and creativity. Nobody should be saying to those kids, hopefully you're not saying to your kids like, oh, you're too young to be creative or you're too young to learn the camera. No, okay? We need to move past that mindset of age and that age matters. So clear that from your brain right now, okay? All right, so I just want to recap real quick because I think this episode is a super important one and I hope that all of these things really sunk in your head. First, I really, really, really want you to shift your brain away from comparing to other photographers. Remember, we're not in a race with them. Remember, there is no finish line. Number two, I want you to shift your brain away from thinking to yourself that other photographers on social media have created great photos because of something. Okay, I want you to have that positive social media vibe. So don't think in your head and never, never, never comment that they've over edited or that they just are taking a great picture because they've got an expensive camera. But when you see a great picture, take the time to let them know. Not even just a thumbs up. Actually take the time to write something and tell them. That is uplifting, that is inspiring, That helps bring more and more positivity to our photography community, to photographers out there, and comes back to you too, you guys. It really does. So really try to practice that positive social media vibe. And number 3, and this is the biggest one, this is like the finale one, age. Don't let age even come through your mindset, okay? Doesn't matter. Not a thing when it comes to learning photography, okay? So give yourself a great big smile, you guys. You totally have this. You are in the exact place you should be with your photography journey right now. And if you have listened to this episode, if you have made it to the end, I invite you to join me to learn a little bit more inside my free masterclass. If you're interested in that, register by going to cozyclicks.com/framework. This is my masterclass for people who are learning to get more comfortable shooting behind the camera. Not so much on the editing side yet, but if you are a mom, if you are a grandma who would love to start taking pictures of your kids or grandkids that look more professional, you're going to want to make sure to register for my free masterclass. It's about 60 minutes. You can register at cozyclicks.com/framework. I would love, love, love to see all of you over there. All right, you guys. Remember, the Stay Focused podcast is also on YouTube now, so you will be able to see clips from the show, full shows, as well as some of my guests who are coming up in the next couple weeks. But until then, here's to staying in focus, in camera, and with your goals. Bye for now, you guys.